G'day folks, and today on the bench we have something a bit different. I don't quite know what it is, but it does have Wi-Fi. There's a bit of glue on the chip because I've been using the acetone to clear the cyanide out. It's all over this socket, it's all over the board. It's a real mess. Obviously someone's tried to fix it in the past, but they used glue instead of solder. Anyway, we're going to have a go at cleaning this up, getting the glue out of this socket so that we can remove the socket. It's going to be a challenging one to remove because not only do we have the solder to contend with, but we have this glue. And I'm just going to try and break the glue free using my little pry tool here. I've just soaked it with a bit of acetone and now just trying to separate the surface there so that I know the only resistance left should be from the solder. Now I'm just gonna try and remove this solder here, try and wick it off. I've used the solder socket just to get that big bit of solder out of the legs there to the left and the right. And I just want to go across and just get these to a point where yeah, I know it's not solder holding on, it's only going to be glue, hopefully. I'm not loving these not loving these fumes from the CA glue. It's not the best, definitely not the best smell, that's for sure. Now I'm just adding some flux here so that our heat is a little more evenly distributed and the solder melts a bit easier. But yeah, we're just going to try and get as much of this solder off as we can. We're slowly getting this solder out. Maybe we should go to a bit of a time lapse and I'll just go through and remove all this solder. We can wick as much out as we can, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'll be back in a moment, folks. Okay, so we've got a new socket, and I'm just going to put some flux on here so we get this up nicely. And we'll just solder in our socket legs so that we're nice and secure. And we're just doing a bit of solder to get started onto the iron, and then you'll see that I'll feed solder into the back of the socket. So we just put enough solder on the iron to transfer heat. We don't solder from the iron, we solder from the piece. We warm the piece up to the level we want and then solder it. So that's what I've done there. I've just added a bit of solder onto the tip so that the tip gets a bit more heat into those big legs. Then I just feed solder into the back. Sorry, that's slightly off screen there. I need to adjust my camera a little bit. I'm just placing solder on each of the legs. Nothing special here. You can just see it off frame there. My bench is looking pretty messy today because I'm actually working on it. A lot of the photos and videos I do are pre-job or post-job after I've done the work and cleaned up a little bit. But yes, as I'm working, it's obviously a little bit more chaotic. This is why it's good to have all this stuff up on the wall. When everything has a spot, it's both much easier and you get more motivated to clean or clean up or keep clean. So yeah, I'll try and keep this place as clean as I can. That way I can get as much work done in this little space as I can. I always wonder how big the workspace is for a lot of these YouTubers when they're doing this work. Are they just working on a little section on the kitchen bench, or do they have a whole thing set up? Some just have a desk. Some are just doing it on a desk that's used for other things. So our pins are soldered. They look pretty good. I'm just going to check that there's no movement in any of them. They seem nice and solid. Last visual inspection just to make sure everything's good. As you can see in the back of the socket there, the solder looks really nice. It's come through up those legs and soldered to the board beautifully. So I'm pretty happy with that. Just cleaning up a bit of flux with some ethanol. I use ethanol. You can use isopropyl, but ethanol is a little bit more versatile in terms of where it can be used and how it can be used. It's a bit better medically as well. If you're making tinctures and stuff like that, it can be ingested internally, unlike methanol or isopropyl alcohol. So yeah, let's clean up, and then we'll wrap this up, and we'll get back to the customer. Looks like we've done a good job here. One last visual inspection, just to have a look. A bit more of that glue on there. I don't really like that glue. It's kind of dripped everywhere. Probably from when they glued the socket. Some of it may have dripped out when I was dissolving it. Let's just see if we can wash a bit of it off. I'm impressed with these labels. They have not even hinted at coming off with the solvents that I'm using. So whatever labels they are, well done. Usually those labels rub off on the first or second rub of any isopropyl alcohol, let alone acetone. So yeah, I use acetone to break down CA glue. You've got to be careful about it. Some plastics. But if it's on the edge and it's just silicon and or metal, then yeah, you can use acetone pretty safely. Anyway, that's our job for the day. Just a little one, just a quick solder job. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video where we'll do another job. I've got a bunch of jobs coming up, so lots of videos to come. And see you on the next one, folks.